There will come a time, perhaps today, perhaps tomorrow, when the fire that once burned so brightly inside you begins to flicker. The goal that once electrified your veins will feel distant, dull, even foolish. You'll ask yourself, what's the point? And in that quiet, dangerous moment, 1,000 voices will rise to tempt you to quit. But understand this, champions are not built in moments of thrill. They are forged in silence. When no one is watching, when every muscle aches, and when quitting seems easier than crawling forward. It is in those moments that one truth, one rule, must take command of your mind. A rule so simple, so powerful, that if you follow it relentlessly, you will pass those who are more talented, more connected, even more fortunate than you. This is the rule that separates the dreamers from the doers, the wishers from the warriors. Are you ready to hear it? Every great achievement in history, every story of triumph and conquest begins with a spark, a surge of motivation that sets the soul ablaze with possibility. This surge feels like a wind at your back, a promise whispered in your ear that today is the day your life will change. Motivation is intoxicating. It's the grand entrance, the curtain rising on your personal drama of success. It lifts you from your chair, fills your heart with hope, and drives you to take action. But here is the truth often hidden behind the glitter of success. The motivation is fleeting. It is like the morning sun, bright, warm, but only for a few hours. It fades, it wanes, and inevitably it vanishes. What happens when the sun dips below the horizon? When the fire inside you grows cold, when the applause dies down and the loneliness of the journey sets in? What do you do then? This is where the ordinary falter and the extraordinary endure. Those who achieve their highest dreams do not rely solely on the thrill of motivation. They do not wait for the perfect feeling to descend upon them before they act. Instead, they embrace a power far more reliable, far more enduring discipline. Discipline is not a feeling. It is not a sudden surge of inspiration. Discipline is a habit. It is a decision made again and again to do what must be done regardless of how you feel. Discipline is the unseen engine that propels the dreamer forward when motivation has deserted them. Where motivation is a visitor, discipline is a resident. Consider the life of any successful person you admire. Behind their moments of visible triumph lie countless unseen hours of work. Early mornings when the bed was warm but the goal was colder. Late nights when the world was asleep but their ambition was awake. Those hours are not powered by motivation alone. They are fueled by the iron will of discipline. Motivation might get you started, but discipline is the force that keeps you moving when motivation fades. This is a universal law that applies to every area of life and business, health, relationships, personal growth. Motivation is the spark, discipline is the fire. You might feel motivated today to write that book, to start that business, to run that extra mile. But when tomorrow arrives and the initial enthusiasm has cooled, you must call on discipline to show up and do the work anyway. Deeper, the discipline is the commitment to the process, not the event. It is the resolve to keep your eyes on the horizon even when the path is shrouded in fog. This distinction between motivation and is often misunderstood. Many people mistake motivation for the entire journey. They believe if they just feel like doing something, success will come. But the truth is the opposite. Waiting to feel motivated is the fastest way to remain stuck, waiting for a perfect emotional state that rarely arrives when you most need it. The discipline requires a mind trained to act regardless of emotion. It means creating rituals, building routines, and setting standards that are non-negotiable. The discipline is the silent promise you make to yourself that no matter how you feel, you will show up and do the work. This promise might look like waking up at dawn even when your body screams for rest, sitting down to write even when the words refuse to flow, practicing your craft even when the world seems indifferent. This promise is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Discipline also builds resilience. When motivation fades, it's easy to see obstacles as insurmountable. But discipline teaches you to push past those obstacles anyway. The deep conditions your mind to respond with action rather than surrender. It turns "I can't" into "must." I'm tired to. I persist. In this way, discipline is the foundation upon which all great success is built. It is the constant companion of the determined mind, the steadfast partner of the ambitious heart. Motivation will come and go like the tides, but discipline stands firm like the rock against the crashing waves. Without discipline, motivation is a candle flickering in the wind, bright for a moment, then gone. With discipline, motivation becomes the steady flame of a lantern lighting the way through the darkest nights. To cultivate discipline, you must first understand its nature. It is not a punishment or a burden, but a form of self-respect. It is honoring your own commitments with the same seriousness you would expect from others. It is mastering your impulses rather than being mastered by them. The deeper discipline means creating an environment and mindset where your goals are inevitable outcomes. It means arranging your day so that your actions are automatic and unavoidable, leaving no room for the whims of fleeting feelings. This does not mean you will never feel discouraged or tired. It means you acknowledge those feelings but refuse to be ruled by them. It means you act despite them. In this struggle between motivation and discipline, discipline will always win. It is a muscle that grows stronger each time you use it. The more you practice showing up when you don't feel like it, the easier it becomes to keep going when the fire inside you dims. The men and women who accomplish great things understand this secret well. They do not wait for the perfect mood or the perfect moment. They build their success on the bedrock of daily, persistent effort. Discipline transforms dreams into plans, plans into actions, and actions into achievements. It is the invisible force that carries you forward when the world around you offers no applause and your own heart cries out for rest. In every great story of perseverance, discipline is the silent hero. The deeper truth, it is the power that makes champions out of ordinary people, that turns wishes into realities and keeps the soul alive when motivation has gone to sleep. The deeper truth, when faced with a mountain ambition, a vast ocean of dreams, or a future painted with the brushstrokes of grand success, the human mind often freezes. The mind sees the enormity of the task ahead and feels overwhelmed. It wonders how one person, limited by time, energy, and circumstance, can possibly conquer such a colossal challenge. The secret, however, lies not in giant leaps or sudden, dramatic bursts of effort, but in the quiet power of small, consistent actions. It is the drip of water that hollows the stone, the single brick that builds the wall, the steady tick of the clock at the passing of years. Success is not born from one moment of brilliance, nor is it the result of a single heroic effort. Rather, it is the accumulation of countless small steps taken day after day with unwavering resolve. This truth is often overlooked by those who chase after success with impatience. They look for shortcuts, for instant gratification, for signs that they are making rapid progress. When the big breakthrough does not come immediately, when the dramatic transformation remains elusive, discouragement sets in. The mind then tempts them to abandon their path, to settle for less, or to believe they lack the ability. But the wise understand that progress is rarely spectacular in the moment. It is quiet, slow, and almost invisible. It is the result of discipline compounded over time. The power of small, consistent actions lies in their ability to build momentum, to create habits, and to lay the groundwork for breakthroughs that seem sudden only because they have been silently prepared for years. When motivation fades and the grand vision feels distant, it is these small steps that keep the wheels turning. They prevent the paralysis of overwhelm and provide a clear path forward. Instead of looking up at the mountain and feeling crushed by its height, focus shifts to placing one foot in front of the other, to completing the task at hand, no matter how insignificant it seems. This approach requires patience and faith. Faith that what you do today, even if it seems small and meaningless, will contribute to your ultimate success. It means honoring the process over the results, trusting the journey even when the destination is not yet in sight. Small, consistent actions create a rhythm and structure in your daily life. They become habits that no longer depend on willpower alone. When something becomes habitual, it no longer requires tremendous energy to maintain. It becomes part of who you are, a natural extension of your character and your identity. Consider the person who wants to write a book. They are unlikely to produce a masterpiece in one sitting. But if they commit to writing just 300 words a day, no matter what, over the course of a year, they will produce more than 100,000 words. Enough for several books. The magic is not in the daily word count itself, but in the unwavering consistency of showing up. Similarly, the individual who wishes to improve their health need not run a marathon on day one. By committing to a short walk each morning, by choosing one healthy meal a day, by drinking an extra glass of water, these small decisions accumulate. Over months and years, they transform the body, the mind, and the spirit. The key to harnessing the power of small actions is to focus on what you control in this very moment. You may not control the entire outcome, but you do control the next step. You may not rewrite your entire life today, but you can rewrite the next page. You may not solve every problem, but you can solve the next one. It is often said that success is the sum of small efforts, repeated day in and day out. This is not a cliché, but a universal truth. There is no shortcut around it, no secret formula that bypasses it. The great victories of life are won not in giant leaps, but in steady, deliberate progress. This principle also teaches the importance of setting manageable goals. Ambitions that are too large and vague create confusion and exhaustion. Breaking those ambitions into smaller, achievable tasks turns the impossible into the possible. It lights a path made of stepping stones rather than an intimidating chasm to cross. Focus on small actions fosters a mindset of growth and persistence. Each small success becomes a building block for confidence. Every completed task, no matter how minor, strengthens your belief in your ability to follow through. It quiets the inner critic who doubts your worthiness or your strength. There is also a practical advantage to small, consistent actions. They allow for adjustment and learning along the way. If you sprint forward recklessly, you risk burning out, making mistakes, or missing important signs. But when you proceed step by step, you have the opportunity to evaluate, refine, and improve your course regularly. By focusing on the process, you remove the pressure of immediate results. The mind learns to appreciate effort itself as valuable, regardless of outcome. This is essential because results often take time to manifest. If you rely solely on external validation or immediate success, you will be at the mercy of circumstances beyond your control. Another profound benefit of small, consistent actions is how they cultivate patience and humility. The journey toward greatness is rarely glamorous or easy. It demands endurance through mundane routines and repetitive tasks. It requires acceptance that greatness is earned, not given, that mastery is built through thousands of repetitions. When motivation fades and the emotional thrill is absent, the power of small actions becomes a lifeline. These actions keep you adhered to your goal when enthusiasm is gone. They transform your efforts from sporadic bursts into a continuous flow. Small, consistent actions are also a form of respect. Respect for the process, respect for your own potential, and respect for the vision you hold. By honoring the small tasks, you honor the larger dream that depends on them. As you cultivate this habit, you will notice a subtle but profound transformation. Your mindset shifts from seeking quick wins to embracing the long game. You start seeing success not as an event but as a journey, a series of deliberate choices made over time. This mindset is the antidote to frustration and despair. It teaches you that every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Every effort counts. Every day matters. Small, consistent actions also serve as a shield against distraction and discouragement. In a world obsessed with instant results and constant stimulation, these actions root you firmly in your purpose. They become a fortress of steady progress that no fleeting emotion or setback can easily shake. In mastering the art of small, consistent actions, you unlock a powerful secret in the ability to endure, to persist, and ultimately to succeed when others fall away. This secret is not flashy or dramatic, but it is unshakable and eternal. The human spirit, when untethered, drifts aimlessly like a ship without a rudder. It wanders from task to task, from distraction to distraction, consumed by doubt and uncertainty, without a clear, definite goal. Even the strongest motivation and the greatest efforts dissipate like smoke in the wind. To endure when motivation fades, you must anchor your purpose firmly to a definite goal. A goal so vivid, so compelling, that it commands your attention and fuels your will with unrelenting energy. A definite goal is not a vague wish or a passing fancy. It is a clear, deep-precise target, etched in your mind and heart with such clarity that it leaves no room for confusion. It answers the question, what exactly am I striving for? And refuses to accept maybe, or someday as answers. Without such a goal, your efforts scatter like dust, your energy dissipates in every direction, and your progress becomes inconsistent and fragile. When motivation fades, this definite goal becomes your North Star. It guides your decisions, shapes your daily actions, and deepens your eyes fixed on what truly matters. It becomes a beacon in the darkest nights of doubt and fatigue, illuminating your path when all else seems lost. But why is anchoring your purpose to a definite goal so essential? The answer lies in the nature of human focus and energy. The mind cannot serve two masters well. When your purpose is unclear, your mind flits from one desire to another, chasing fleeting interests and external distractions. This scattered attention dilutes your power and drains your spirit. Conversely, a definite goal sharpens your focus like a laser beam. It channels your mental and physical energy into a single, purposeful stream. This focus builds momentum, reinforces discipline, and creates a powerful feedback loop of progress and confidence. Imagine a marksman aiming at a distant target. Without a clear sight, every shot is a guess. The bullet may stray far from the mark. But when the target is fixed and clearly visible, each shot is deliberate, guided, and closer to success. Your definite goal is that target. Anchoring your purpose to a definite goal also transforms the nature of your struggle. When motivation wanes, it is easy to question the value of your efforts. Doubt creeps in, whispering that the sacrifice is too great or the reward too small. But a definite goal rekindles belief. It reminds you why you began, what you stand to gain, and who you become through the process. This goal must not only be clear, but deeply personal and emotionally charged. It must stir your soul and ignite a passion that surpasses fleeting feelings of tiredness or discouragement. The stronger the emotional connection to your goal, the more resilient you become when external motivation fades. Setting a definite goal requires precision and honesty. The vague desires like, I want to be successful, or I want to be happy, lack the force needed to drive sustained effort. Instead, specify your goal in concrete terms. What exactly does success look like to you? How will happiness manifest in your life? The clearer you are, the easier it becomes to recognize progress and maintain direction. Moreover, a definite goal serves as a measuring stick for your efforts. It allows you to evaluate your progress, adjust your strategies, and stay accountable. Without it, you wander blindly, unsure if your actions bring you closer or further away from your dreams. The deep clarity creates a powerful sense of purpose that transcends temporary emotions. When motivation fades, the deeper truth, your definite goal, reminds you that effort is not about momentary feelings, but about fulfilling a larger vision. It shifts your mindset from, why do I have to do this, to because this is who I am becoming. Anchoring your purpose to a definite goal also strengthens your resilience against setbacks. The deeper truth, challenges and failures are inevitable, but when your goal is clear and compelling, you see obstacles as temporary detours rather than dead ends. Your goal fuels a mindset that embraces adversity as part of the journey rather than a reason to quit. Furthermore, a definite goal unites your thoughts and actions. When your purpose is anchored, the decisions become easier because you have a consistent criterion: does this move me closer to my goal? If yes, proceed. If no, discard distractions. This clarity saves energy wasted on indecision and keeps you relentlessly focused. The power of anchoring your purpose to a definite goal extends beyond motivation. It cultivates a deep sense of meaning in your efforts. When every action connects to a larger purpose, your work transcends mere obligation and becomes an expression of your identity and values. This connection to meaning is what sustains you when enthusiasm is absent. It is what transforms repetitive, tedious tasks into meaningful contributions toward a greater vision. It keeps your spirit alive in the grind. To create this anchor, start by writing down your goal in specific terms. Describe it vividly. What it looks like, feels like, sounds like. Imagine the impact it will have on your life and the lives of others. Feel the emotions that arise. Let this vision settle in your mind until it becomes a natural part of your daily thoughts. Return to this vision often. Remind yourself why you chose this path. Let your definite goal be the constant in the chaos of daily challenges. Anchoring your purpose to a definite goal also means committing to it publicly or with accountability. When others know your goal, you create an external support system that reinforces your internal commitment. This accountability can be a powerful motivator when your inner drive falters. It is important to recognize that your definite goal may evolve as you grow. Be flexible enough to refine it, but never lose sight of having a clear target. A shifting vision is a wandering mind. A definite goal is a firm anchor. Ultimately, the act of anchoring your purpose to a definite goal is the greatest gift you can give yourself on the path of perseverance. It transforms vague dreams into a mission, weak effort into relentless pursuit, and fleeting motivation into lasting achievement. A man without a routine is like a traveler without a map, always moving but never arriving. Without structure, even the most noble vision remains a distant fantasy, easily overshadowed by distraction, fatigue, or the illusion of business. But when you create a routine that is built to serve your vision, you are no longer at the mercy of fleeting moods or erratic motivation. You are driven not by how you feel, but by what you are becoming. Your days gain purpose, your actions gain direction, and your life begins to align with your highest aim. Your routine is the scaffold upon which your future is constructed. It is the mechanism that transforms dreams into habits and habits into achievements. No matter how ambitious your goals, no matter how powerful your vision, without a disciplined structure to support them, that they will collapse under the weight of inconsistency. Vision without routine is merely a wish. Routine without vision is empty repetition. But the fusion of a clear purpose with deliberate daily practices is an unstoppable force. The first and most powerful thing a routine offers is certainty. In a world filled with unpredictability and noise, routine becomes your anchor. It removes the need for constant decision-making and frees the mind to focus on execution rather than hesitation. Each time you repeat a purposeful action, you are programming your mind and body to respond with efficiency and clarity. Where chaos once ruled, discipline takes its place. Greatness is not born in moments of high energy, but in what you do consistently, especially when the initial fire has faded. Your routine is what shows up when motivation doesn't. It carries you through the valleys between bursts of inspiration. The key is to build a routine that reflects your vision, not one that merely keeps you busy. To do this, you must design your daily actions to echo your highest goals. If your vision is to write a book, then writing must be a sacred part of your daily rhythm. If your dream is to build a thriving business, then daily decisions must support growth, learning, and bold execution. The deeper routine that supports your vision is not random. It is intentional. It does not leave room for guesswork. It is a declaration of what you value, where you're headed, and what you're willing to sacrifice to get there. Each block of time becomes an investment. Each task completed is a brick laid on the path to fulfillment. In this sense, routine becomes spiritual. It is a daily covenant with your future self. Many people resist routine because they fear monotony. But true monotony is living the same year over and over, hoping for different results. Real freedom is not the absence of structure, but the result of discipline that brings your dreams into reality. Your routine should not imprison you. It should liberate you from inconsistency, from distraction, and from regret. It should replace scattered effort with concentrated force. When you rise at the same time each day, when you guard the first hour of your morning with sacred intention, when you schedule time to move your body, sharpen your mind, and nourish your soul, you are not just checking boxes. You are molding the habits that will carry you through fatigue, doubt, and resistance. You are becoming the architect of your destiny, one deliberate day at a time. A routine that supports your vision does not need to be complex. Simplicity done consistently creates more power than elaborate plans followed sporadically. What matters is not how many tasks you cram into your day, but whether those tasks are aligned with your purpose. Eliminate the noise. Focus on the few vital actions that matter most. Make them non-negotiable. Turn them into rituals of success. Morning routines are especially powerful because they set the emotional tone for the entire day. The deeper truth, the first actions you take during waking often determine whether you move forward with clarity or remain entangled in chaos. Begin your day with intention. The deeper truth, and you reclaim control from the world before it demands your attention. Read, reflect, write, plan. Do something that reminds you who you are and where you're going. But your routine must not end with the morning. My day and evening rituals are just as crucial. A powerful routine includes regular review, time to reflect on your progress, measure your actions against your goals, and make adjustments. It includes boundaries that protect your time and energy from the trivial demands of the world. It includes moments of stillness, because silence strengthens vision, and reflection deepens commitment. One of the greatest values of a structured routine is the way it creates identity. When you live with intentional structure, you begin to see yourself as someone who follows through, who shows up, who honors commitments even when it's hard. Over time, this consistency rewrites your self-image. You no longer need motivation to act. You act because it's who you are. Identity becomes your fuel. Routine also builds endurance. Life will test your patience, challenge your confidence, and disrupt your plans. But if you have a routine that supports your vision, you always have something solid to return to. The deeper truth, you don't need to start from scratch each time you stumble. Your routine becomes the baseline that carries you forward, the groove in which progress flows naturally. The person who respects their routine respects their future. They understand that success is not found in occasional intensity, but in daily fidelity to a plan. They know that every great life is built not in moments of convenience, but in hours of quiet effort when no one is watching. As you build your routine, observe how it shapes your thoughts. A powerful routine does not just affect what you do. It transforms how you think. It conditions your mind to expect progress, to normalize productivity, to reject excuse-making and embrace personal ownership. The deeper, it shifts your internal dialogue from, "I'll try to. This is what I do." In time, your routine becomes more than a tool. It becomes a source of strength. It becomes the system that sustains your vision long after initial enthusiasm has burned out. It holds your course steady when storms arise and keeps your compass aligned when the winds of distraction blow. They create true stability in the face of uncertainty and provides momentum when progress feels slow. Human beings are social creatures. We're not to thrive in isolation, but to grow within a community of shared values and mutual encouragement. When motivation fades, the voices and energies around us can either lift us higher or pull us deeper into discouragement. The people and influences you surround yourself with form the invisible architecture of your persistence, shaping your thoughts, your habits, and ultimately your destiny. To keep moving forward when your inner drive weakens, it is essential to surround yourself with supportive influences. Those who inspire, challenge the deeper truth, and hold you accountable to your highest potential. Consider the power of influence as a silent force that shapes your worldview and self-concept. The company you keep becomes a mirror reflecting your own ambitions and beliefs. If you spend time with people who doubt themselves or settle for mediocrity, their mindset will subtly infiltrate yours. Their complacency or negativity will become a steady drip eroding your confidence. Conversely, when you surround yourself with those who are committed to growth, the deeper truth, who believe your vision and demonstrate relentless effort themselves, their energy becomes contagious. Their belief fuels your own, creating a climate where persistence thrives. Supportive influences come in many forms. Not just friends or family, but mentors, colleagues, communities, and even the books, podcasts, and teachings you consume. Every message you receive leaves an imprint on your subconscious mind. It is said that the average person is the sum of the 5 closest people in their life, but this truth extends beyond just people. It encompasses all the input you allow into your mind. To nurture your perseverance, you must be deliberate about what you let in. When motivation fades, it is easy to retreat into isolation, to wallow in self-doubt, or to entertain the lies that whisper you are not enough. But supportive influences act as a lifeline. They remind you of your purpose when your own voice falters. They hold you accountable when your resolve weakens. The deeper truth, they celebrate your progress when your eyes can only see failure. They act as a thermostat for your mindset, keeping you in a zone of growth rather than stagnation. Choosing these influences requires courage and discernment. It may mean distancing yourself from those who drain your energy or undermine your goals, even if they are close to you. The deeper, this is not about rejecting loved ones, but about protecting your inner world with the same care you protect your body or your time. Just as you would not consume poison, you must not consume negativity disguised as concern or comfort. At the same time, seek out those who embody the qualities you admire: resilience, integrity, optimism, and discipline. Surround yourself with people who have walked the path before you and emerged stronger. Their stories and wisdom serve as roadmaps, showing what is possible even in the face of adversity. Their presence is a reminder that success is attainable, not just a distant dream. Mentorship is a particularly potent form of supportive influence. A mentor provides guidance, feedback, and encouragement grounded in experience. They help you navigate obstacles, avoid common pitfalls, and maintain perspective when challenges seem insurmountable. Mentors invest in your growth, seeing in you the potential you sometimes cannot see yourself. Their belief can reignite your motivation when it flickers low. Communities also play a vital role. Being part of a group that shares your values and goals creates a collective momentum that propels individuals forward. Whether it is a mastermind group, a professional network, or a circle of friends who support your vision, these communities create a sense of belonging and accountability. They remind you that you are not alone in your struggle and that persistence is a shared journey. The deeper than solitary moments are shaped by influence when you intentionally engage with empowering content. Books, podcasts, speeches, and teachings from those who have mastered perseverance offer a reservoir of strength and inspiration. These voices speak to your subconscious, the planting seeds of hope and resilience that blossom when your conscious will wavers. It is crucial to actively cultivate these influences rather than passively accept what comes your way. Just as a gardener tends to their plants, pruning harmful growth and nourishing what thrives, you must curate your environment. This includes both your physical surroundings and your mental landscape. Cleanse your mind of toxic thoughts by replacing them with affirmations, lessons, and visions of success. Fill your time with activities and people that uplift rather than deplete. Supportive influences do not remove the hardships or guarantee smooth sailing, but they equip you with the tools to endure and the mindset to persevere. They teach you that struggle is not a sign of failure, but a natural part of growth. They help you reframe setbacks as lessons and fuel your commitment to keep going when motivation is fleeting. Perhaps one of the greatest gifts of surrounding yourself with supportive influences is the way it nurtures your identity. Identity is not formed in isolation, but through interaction and reflection. When you consistently engage with those who see your worth and challenge you to be better, you begin to see yourself in that light. Your self-belief strengthens, your vision sharpens, and your resilience deepens. To integrate this keynote into your life, begin by evaluating your current influences. Notice who and what drains your energy or dims your ambition. Then intentionally seek out new sources of support. Reach out to mentors, join groups aligned with your goals, and immerse yourself in inspiring content. Create a daily habit of feeding your mind with positive, growth-oriented influences. Remember that influence is a two-way street. As you receive support, you must also give it. Encouraging others on their path reinforces your own commitment and builds a network of mutual strength. In this way, the perseverance becomes a shared endeavor, strengthened by collective faith and effort. By surrounding yourself with supportive influences, the deeper truth, you are not just reacting to moments of low motivation, you are proactively building an environment where persistence becomes natural and unstoppable. The journey toward any great achievement is not a straight line, nor is it defined solely by monumental breakthroughs or spectacular victories. Instead, it is the accumulation of small, the deeper and often unnoticed steps forward that ultimately carve the path to success. In moments when motivation wanes, the deeper it is these small wins, those modest triumphs that mark progress, that become essential fuel for your momentum. Recognizing and celebrating these victories not only nurtures your spirit, but reinforces the belief that your efforts are making a difference, no matter how incremental they may seem. Too often, individuals fix it solely on the distant summit, the ultimate prize, or the final outcome, allowing the vastness of the journey to overwhelm their spirit. This overwhelming perspective breeds discouragement and doubt, causing many to abandon their goals when the initial burst of enthusiasm fades. The truth remains that greatness is rarely achieved in leaps and bounds. Rather, it is built on a foundation of continuous small victories, each one a testament to your persistence and growth. Celebrating small wins serves as a powerful psychological tool, reminding your mind and body that you are capable of progress. It rewires your brain to associate effort with reward, creating a positive feedback loop that encourages continued action. Each small success releases a burst of dopamine, the chemical messenger linked to pleasure and motivation, which reinforces the desire to keep moving forward. Without these moments of acknowledgement, your brain risks perceiving your efforts as laborious and futile, making it easier to surrender to inactivity or distraction. When you learn to recognize the significance of small wins, you transform your perception of the journey itself. Rather than viewing your path as a daunting climb, you begin to see it as a series of manageable, achievable steps. Each step becomes a milestone to be honored, a marker of your commitment and capability. This shift in perspective is crucial, especially during times when the initial excitement of your vision has dimmed and the routine grind threatens to dull your passion. Celebration does not require grand gestures or external validation. In fact, the most meaningful celebrations are often personal, intimate acknowledgments that you give yourself. It might be as pausing for a moment to reflect on what you've accomplished that day, jotting down your progress in a journal, or expressing gratitude for the growth you have achieved. These small acts of recognition reinforce your connection to your purpose and remind you that every effort counts. Moreover, celebrating small wins cultivates a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. The deeper state of focusing on what remains unfinished or the distance still to travel, you train your mind to appreciate the progress made. This abundance mindset fuels resilience because it shifts your attention away from lack and limitation, replacing it with gratitude and confidence. It nurtures optimism, which is essential for maintaining motivation over the long haul. Small wins also build momentum in a practical sense. Just as a snowball grows larger as it rolls downhill, your progress accelerates when each achievement is acknowledged and used as a springboard for the next. Momentum is a force of nature in personal achievement. It makes subsequent tasks easier, your energy higher, and your confidence stronger. Without recognizing these wins, however, momentum falters, and effort feels like an uphill battle. An important aspect of celebrating small wins is setting clear criteria for what constitutes a win. Because when goals are vague or too distant, it is difficult to discern progress. By breaking your larger vision into specific, actionable steps, you create opportunities for frequent successes. Each completed task, each obstacle overcome, each improvement made becomes a win worthy of recognition. This habit of defining and celebrating small wins turns your journey into a series of positive reinforcements, each one building your endurance and passion. Furthermore, celebrating small wins cultivates patience and persistence. When you appreciate progress in increments, you learn to value steady growth rather than instant gratification. This helps you weather the inevitable setbacks and plateaus with a steady heart. Instead of giving in to frustration or impatience, you remind yourself that success is a process, not a singular event. Each small win is proof that your journey is unfolding step by step. The power of celebrating small wins extends beyond motivation. It influences your entire self-concept. When you recognize your progress consistently, you build a stronger, more positive identity. You begin to see yourself as a doer, a finisher, a person who overcomes obstacles and makes steady progress. This reinforced self-image becomes a source of strength during moments when motivation falters. It serves as a reminder that you are capable and worthy of success. Celebration also invites joy into your journey, which is often overlooked in the pursuit of serious goals. Joy is a powerful motivator because it makes the process itself rewarding. When you take time to acknowledge your small wins, you infuse your efforts with satisfaction and pleasure. This emotional reward counterbalances the challenges and frustrations, making it easier to stay committed over the long term. In addition, celebrating small wins can strengthen your connections with others. Sharing your progress with supportive influences, mentors, friends, or communities amplifies the sense of achievement. It invites encouragement and accountability, reinforcing your commitment and inspiring those around you. This social celebration becomes another layer of motivation, weaving your success into a larger web of mutual growth. To fully harness the power of small wins, cultivate a habit of daily or weekly reflection. Make it a practice to review your accomplishments, no matter how modest they appear. Write them down, speak them aloud, or simply acknowledge them silently. Allow yourself to feel pride and satisfaction for what you have done. This ritual creates a rhythm of recognition that keeps your spirit engaged and your will strong. It is important to remember that small wins are not a distraction from your ultimate goal, but the very building blocks of its realization. Each one is a piece of the mosaic of success, contributing to the whole picture. By celebrating them, you honor the journey, nourish your motivation, and empower yourself to keep going even when the path grows steep and the fire of initial enthusiasm begins to flicker in the grand nadir of achievement. Motivation will rise and fall like the tides. But the true victor is the one who understands that success is not fueled by fleeting inspiration, but by unwavering principles and deliberate action. When motivation fades, remember the one rule that never fails: persist with purpose. Anchor yourself in a clear vision, master your emotions, harness the power of discipline, build routines that serve your dreams, surround yourself with those who lift you higher, the deeper truth, and celebrate every small victory along the way. This is no mere formula. It is a philosophy of perseverance, a covenant with your future self. To move forward when the fire dims is to prove to yourself that you are greater than your circumstances. In this commitment lies your power, your freedom, and ultimately your triumph.